Today we'll be talking about comma.ai. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna code. No, I'm just. It's gonna be just more of a stream of consciousness kind of short video. Because there was this tweet the other day. I think I even bookmarked it, did I? From George was, yeah, exactly. Like he goes like on this sort of like, it's not a rant, but it's like he kind of goes and talks about like the real sort of the problem behind like why the internet sucks nowadays. And it's like especially this stuff in here, right? And I'm so sorry to have this guy here with the microtubules. I just bookmarked this stuff to then come back to this later. And anyway, so I think that in a way I've been kind of following comma.ai a bit sort of in the background. Not just, I mean, the thing is I don't own a car. If I would own a car and it would not be a Tesla, I think that's definitely what I would go and use. And again, this is not like I'm not being sponsored by them at all or anything. And I really haven't even like checked the actual code or checked like whatever is open source. Like I'm not into details at all, right? So I'm talking from the surface. But if this sort of prompted me to tweet yesterday, it's like that's kind of, it really feels what like, at least from my perspective, what like effective accelerationism, like YAC, should really sort of be, right? As in like this is this kind of concept of like sort of being on your, it's not, is it, how is it pronounced, sovereignty? I don't know, sorry for that, but it's the idea of like you're not like not being dependent on like big stuff. It's like, man, I have this problem where we've got tons of pictures at home. My wife's just like a picture freak. She takes pictures of everything, the kids and whatnot, and it's just everything on the fucking cloud. It's everything on Google Photos. It's just so comfortable. But then at some point you realize that just can be gone. You know, it's like you don't own the data. You don't own that stuff. It's not that you don't own it. It's like you don't, like you don't have it. And because they very nicely plug the whole thing around in your phone so that when you're uploading and syncing, especially if you're using a Pixel phone, you're kind of like synchronizing the pictures, and then they're, you know, it's like, hey, you can delete them from your device, don't worry, this is going to be always available in Google Photos for you. Man, that is like when you realize you've got all your fucking life in there, with like very precious moments that you want to kind of keep. That's scary, right? Because that just can go, it just can go away like in just overnight. And in a way, it's like the way that comma.ai is kind of like build slowly these echoes, like this sort of like connected environment of like they have what they sell, the devices. And what I wanted to kind of do a bit of digging into today, just a few minutes, just Google on it, because I know there's a Discord. I know that the piece that they open source is what they call OpenPilot. I don't know if they built OpenPilot and open sourced it, or they took whatever was there and then they used it. I don't know, but I think OpenPilot is an open source driver assistance system. Currently, OpenPilot performs the functions of adaptive control. I think start developing. Oh, there's a community Discord. Okay, so I'm going to join that. OpenPilot tools. Do you realize, like, did you just realize how cool this is? It's like you can essentially, it's like you can essentially take that and just build on top of these, right? It's like whatever, yeah, you can go and buy the device. And again, I don't know anyone personally that owns this. Sadly, I live in this diesel corner of the world that's called Europe, and then I guess they have comma.ai users in Europe. I guess there are people in Europe, right? I once saw, I think in one of George's streams, like a map of the world, and they did have like people all over the place. Reddit. In Europe. And the land of the free, but hasn't tried it in Europe. Driving it daily in Europe works well. I'm like, and traditional roads, the system works well over time. You learn what to try and what not to. Like the whole thing is like, just look at how this is all structured, right? Like it's so you're selling something, right? You're still selling stuff, right? You're actually selling. I don't know if I can stream these. I guess it's a public community, right? Is there anything in the rules that allows me not to, or that forbids me to actually stream that stuff? If company wins, we all win. Not impersonate other people. Messages always positive in the chat with some opinion. Common sense. Okay. Yeah, I guess there's nothing. So whatever. I'm not like. I don't think that anyone's gonna. I'm not making money with any of these videos anyway, so like, who fucking cares? I'll take the video. No, I'll take the video down if it's not like allowed. But how simple is that organized? Actually, I don't have permission to that. How do I have permission to do that? Join, click the checkmark emoji. You must verify identity by phone. Wait a second. Haven't I? By phone. I'll go check the phone. I'll go check on the phone. The point is, you have this thing, right? So you essentially can literally just take and look at. That's what George said yesterday. I think he mentioned how many forks there are. Maybe it's not. Maybe it was not in this thread. I don't remember, but he said, "How can I see the amount of forks a project has on GitHub?" Yeah, I don't use GitHub, guys. I don't code a lot. Open Pilot. Here, 8,000, almost 9,000 forks, bro. 9,000 forks. Can I see the forks? How can I see the forks? Can you see the forks? This is to fork it myself. View existing forks. Like, what is this Dragon Pilot community? It's focused on Toyotas and Lexus with secondary attention given to Honda and Hyundai. All this is fucking. It's like, do you realize that people just go take this thing, just make it theirs, just go crazy nuts and optimize this for whatever they care about, like whether it's that, like if I was starting a car company, like I would just like, why not just use that? You know what I mean? It's like, it's you have, this is so funny because it's one of these things where it's just always been there. I had the feeling comma.ai is kind of sort of always been there, where it's like, it's very niche, very kind of techy. Like not everyone talks about these. Like not people don't know really what comma.ai is here in Europe. It's like I think I know no one like in my sort of both work circle of kind of friends and coworkers, and like people are not aware of comma.ai somehow. And it's like slowly building that kind of like spreading, like tentacles. It's like all over the place, right? And then until one day you kind of realize, and you wake up and you realize that everything is comma.ai under the hood. Everything kind of traces back to like that to Open Pilot forks. It's so fucking crazy because it's one of these things where, when was the first time that George comma.ai? When was comma.ai funded? Come on, Perplexity, tell me that. 2015. It's gonna be fucking 10 years for next year. It's so crazy. If you think about this, it's very crazy. It's just slowly evolving, and And it's like it's fucking everywhere. And it's funny because it's like the whole thing with open pilot is open source, right? So you can actually just go and take these now that what comma.ai doesn't for that is just, well, ship the actual device, like put all the extra bells and whistles on top of that, I guess, which kind of make it something worth paying for, right? Essentially what you're kind of like, yeah, you're paying for that, for the actual device. But it's really from an EAC perspective, if you think about these, right? We're all like, the problem with EAC is that it's just a bunch of it feels it's like a bunch of people right now. They're just like in GCs and like in chats and on X, on different discords, even the European leg or sort of branch of all this EAC stuff. It's just a bunch of people like shouting yeah with the community or whatever, and but it's no like, it's at the core it doesn't really matter what you're doing, what you believe in, but that's how like if AI was an actual repository, you know what I mean, like if AI was a thing, that's how it should evolve, right? It should just be something people can build on top of, and that's kind of in a way just this is what you want, because what you essentially want to do is buy a house in the middle of the mountains, or in the middle of in a city, doesn't matter, right? Have your solar plugged in, have your tiny box included in the house sale or whatever, just like have your own compute, right? Your house comes with water supply, electricity supply, compute supply, right? So does it still do the bill? Why is this I thought this was like a Google Meet thing or something, but it seems like the camera from Mac is doing that. I don't know. The webcam is doing that. Anyway, you know what I mean? It's like I don't even know if this was worth my like 50 minutes. If I don't think I have actually said anything meaningful in the past 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But it kind of like this triggered this kind of like excitement, or like, I don't know, just funny feeling, right? Where it's like, build tools to make sovereignty a lower friction experience. Like, why are people using Medium and Substack? A Jekyll block on GitHub pages is a similar experience, and it removes a layer, which is like, yeah, why you need that, right? I guess a lot of these layers exist because of how fucking lazy we are with distribution. I think the attention problem on the internet is so big that people tend to just say, I'm gonna build a Shopify shop because I got all the stuff already out of the box, and then it kind of guarantees me reach, or like an Etsy store, or I'm gonna write a Medium or on Substack because you already have a user base. But it's the fun thing is it's just adds layers over layers of intermediate people in between that make organizations that just completely, it's just a waste. It's really a waste. I don't know, man. It's like a simulus, yeah, solar power systems, electric cars, water filtration, individual machine farms, yeah, like just add the compute stuff, man. You could just plug the tiny box in here easily. But that's kind of the point. It's like you have something that is true open source. This is true freaking open source. People can just take that and build whatever they want on top of that. Just refine these, turn it into something else, and this is what's gonna lead OpenAI to ultimately OpenAI, comma.ai. All this AI stuff is just like too easy. OpenAI is too much engraved into our brains nowadays. It's crazy. It's very, very crazy, man. This is ultimately going to lead. It's ultimately going to lead to them like truly winning, because it's just gonna be all over the place. It's just gonna be all over the place, and it just takes a few people to actually go start like a new car company or whatever, and then just use that, and it's done. Well, need more ice. I might actually come back to this later. It's just kind of like somehow there's a bunch of like thoughts that are triggered by these in a way that are difficult to express, and I just feel like I want to share these with you guys, even from that diesel corner of the world. It's called Europe nowadays, where everything is slow and anti technology. Anyway, see you around.